yes, as a matter of fact, I've known Ed for about all of my life. He's a spokesman for another side of the fence, and we enjoy the ability up here to speak the other side. Freedom of speech is great, and he exercises it, and we certainly would love to see that happen.
This is officially a weapon of mass destruction. Actually, only a nuclear bomb is a weapon of mass destruction. But this is a fermentor. And in equipment like this, you can make 50 liters of anthrax or those other biological bad things. And they've been looking all over Iraq for one of these things, and they can't find it. That's because I let Saddam Hussein hide it right here in the black hole.
So I grew up with his children.
Oh, yeah?
Yeah, and he at the time he was a machinist at the lab and through the 1960s, and I don't know exactly what he worked on, but probably weapons components, machining weapons components or whatever. And at one point or another, he became a real activist. At the same time, he ran this incredible shop in town that had Indian artifacts, Indian Shalyko Shop. I mean, all things Indian, jewelry, pottery. It was a really nice place, a great store, and eventually closed that down and opened the Black Hole. And he's as old as God. I mean, the guy must be late 80s or 90, and he's still running the Black Hole. And he's been running it since, I don't know how old it is, 25 years, maybe 30 years. I respect him because, against sort of all odds, the guy is able to speak his own mind, and he has an extremely liberal and anti-war, anti-weapons, anti-nuclear perspective that is a necessary voice in a community like that.
Which is not uncommon up there. However.
It's true. It's just he's the most vocal.
The town has become very conservative. Originally it was very liberal, but it's become very conservative. And that's because it's thrice screened. First, it's self-screened. If you don't believe in the nuclear business, you don't come here. Secondly, you have to be a scientist, physicist, mathematician, chemist, engineer, some person highly trained in the scientific discipline, which excludes all other disciplines, English majors, philosophers, historians, economists. Thirdly, if you do come here, you have to have a clearance, and they call it a Q clearance, and I call it a Ku Klux clearance. When they check you out, if in college you've read the wrong books or joined the wrong clubs or spent the night with a communist like Oppenheimer, oh man, don't forget they're equal opportunity destroyers. I mean equal opportunity employers. They don't discriminate. They find a more qualified applicant. There are people who think I'm the conscience of the town, and there are other people who absolutely detest me. Although I never call for closure of the lab, just change the mission. Get off the nuclear mission and do science. Let Los Alamos become a world science center. That's our future, science.
Well, everybody thinks that Ed Grothis is kind of the town cook, you might say, kook. He's kind of a little bit nutty. I think that's the way most people perceive Ed Grothis. I think a lot of people just don't pay any attention to anything he does or says in town because they realize his background and they know his personality. Because I think he's kind of the anti-laboratory, particularly the nuclear weapons aspect of the lab. And a lot of people depend on the lab for their livelihood, for their jobs. So naturally, they're not going to go along with some of the Ed Grothis antics.